It's not done.
What do you mean it's not live video? It's still
It says
living.
live video is starting. Now it's on. Yeah, baby. Welcome.
Okay. So I have to find that. Marital Hate App, episode 11. Here we go. It's go time. And hang on, I'm just going to tell my friend Jen. I am here to talk whenever, period. Going live on the podcast right now.
Yeah.
Free as soon as I'm done. And also, anytime. I don't know if Jen's watching the podcast or not, but we're just sitting here texting away. What are you doing? You're sending text. You posted to your wall.
Sharing it to my wall.
I posted to my wall.
About it being
and
episode 11.
I literally just texted that to Jen in the middle of the
podcast. Sometimes communication waits for no one and for nothing.
Well, when a friend of mine says she's been having a crazy week, my first thing is, what can I do to help?
She's definitely having a crazy week.
We're just even to be a listening person.
Yeah, be a listening person.
That
listening.
Not that Jen.
Oh, different Jen.
Different Jen. Two Jens. Two of our Jens are having a rough week, and
I know,
or crazy weeks. And let's send some good vibes to all the Jens in the world and everybody else in the world. I think that's a great way to start the day.
We'll start with them.
We are all in our
it's trickle down
with
good vibes-onomics.
Faces. Is this not the way to start a bright day? Oh shit!
That song is copyright, by the way.
I know
what
the
folks, we were trying to figure out like little segments for the show.
I have developed 10 segments for the show.
10?
I guess every week we should let them know what's going on with the podcast. So
we're working on it.
We're like 11 days into doing the podcast. We do a live show, so that's real. Primarily right now, it's our friends that have been listening.
You can tell it's live because we have different shirts on, and there's different sky behind us.
The sky will change, although pretty soon we might have to take it indoors because it's
gonna
sticky.
Be all bright.
Sticky.
Bright.
And bright. So anyway, we have a podcast, and what we do is we talk about God knows what, because half the time I'm baked off my ass because I have a chronic illness that I treat with cannabis oil. And so and we both have wicked ADD. So the conversation always goes pretty far off the rails. We're looking to put a little bit more structure in place, but we like that it's got that kind of organic, off-the-cuff thing.
It's gelatinous. It's like
gelatinous is not what I would like to be referred to as. It's like the word moist. I'm going with I don't know. I just like that it's more artisanal. And I think you never know what the fuck I am going to say.
You do not know.
He usually behaves himself. I've heard so many things about how Doug is so conservative and Doug is so serious, and I need to give him drugs. I've had that 3 times now.
Well, you know what? It was probably, let's take a little perspective here. It was probably like, that guy needs drugs to deal with you.
Or
you're so wonderful.
Or loosen up a little bit, old man. I literally had to text your son and tell him, I wish you lived in Florida because your dad is being a grumpy old man.
You know what?
And I'm going to have a lizard be my guest host. And
actually,
he's back. We have a gecko that comes every night. He's a albino gecko. We just found out.
Gecko.
Comes and watches the podcast every night. Last night, we had a cat. Tonight, we had a rabbit, a bunny.
Yep, which is good news because
between a bunny and a rabbit?
I think it's just the nomenclature. I don't think a bunny is a small rabbit, or I don't think but a hare is different than a rabbit. I do know that. So the bunny means that there's probably no large predators around. So no pythons.
We have every owl in the state of Florida on
We
our
do,
sheet.
but I don't think I think the bunny is about as big as the owl. I don't think the owl's going to
I saw a bunny fly, an owl. Those little burrowing owls, they look like little Furbies. They're not even like real owls. They're so small. They're adorable.
They're about the size of a Furby.
And everybody has these little crosses on their front lawn that look like religious statements.
Looks
they're
like
not.
Arlington
they're for
Cemetery.
They're for the owls. And so the owls are all up and they're going to be having their little owlets soon. And so if you have one on your front lawn,
it's good luck.
I think it's good
unless
luck.
You're mowing your lawn.
Unless they come after you, and they will occasionally do that. And also, idiots like us see them, and we stop and watch their owls. We'll pull up in front of your house for like a half hour, like a couple of crazy psycho moron idiots that we are. And so, what do? We the owls are adorable, but one day coming home from Publix, we saw an owl with a rat in its mouth, and the owls are like, they're not even like a big enough piece of meat to eat.
what
Like you
the-
couldn't be like, I would like a side of owl with my salad. You couldn't use a borrowing owl, both because they're endangered and because that they're very, very small and very bony.
If you ever want to see something really funny, well, actually you shouldn't because it ruins the whole thing. If you ever see a picture of an owl with no feathers, it's bizarre. It looks like this alien creature.
Even
with these big
when they
eyes.
pull the feathers up,
Oh,
and
yeah,
you can
exactly.
See
You
their
see the
legs.
legs, yeah.
Oh my god, they're so cute.
I know.
That's what Doug looks like with no clothes on, like an owl with the legs.
I look alien.
No, your eyes look normal.
Okay.
No, like a goat. But
Like a goat.
on our first date, I told Doug that his eyes look like a goat, and that he had triangular
And
nostrils. Look at his nostrils, triangles.
So I told her, I go, you smell like a goat,
No, you didn't.
bitch. And then I left. And she chased me.
That did
And
not
we knew it was
happen.
love.
That did not happen. What did happen is we got to the fourth hole. He told me I talked too much. He was trying to impress me and to shut the fuck up.
No, I didn't say that.
He said it in a
I
nice
said
way.
I was trying to
I'm
impress
hearing
you.
snake noises. I like that the
There's no
animals like
snake
our
noise.
podcast, but I can't have that.
Define snake noise. A hiss or a rattle?
Like a slithery thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can hear them slither. Sure. Oh, nature fact today. I love the fact. I know we don't talk about the people that are writing in, but
Yeah, we interact with our friends
but,
at the end.
but
That's what I
Tracy
do.
is like our fact checker. She like boom 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 boom. She comes in
Yeah,
with,
she's like our producer, but like
talking
long
about
distance.
bunnies and stuff. That's good stuff right there. So you keep us in line there.
Tracy, I'm just saying, Florida, they want police and they support their police. So if you were, say, I don't know, working on some sort of law degree in forensics, and you could come
That's
to
not
Florida,
public knowledge.
and is it not?
No, I don't know.
I
I
you
hope
could
it
come
is.
to Florida and produce the show and be a lady cop. Well, not a cop. She's going to be like a
Oh, she's gonna be like CSI.
yeah, like it's
Like,
that chick. Who's that? Is okay. So I don't watch these shows, but there's one chick that's like kind of goth, and she's got like she
Oh,
works in
right.
the lab.
Yeah,
she's
yeah,
like
yeah.
this hot
It's from
goth
NCIS,
science
yeah.
lab chick.
Pauline or Paulette something or other. I don't know what her name is.
I
on
like
the
that.
show,
That's
but,
a good vibe.
Um,
Although when I see somebody who's like looking gothy, I have like questions. Like
want 'em-
I'm like, "Wait, are you okay? Like, do you need somebody to talk to? Do you need a hug? Do you want some vitamin D, perhaps?" But I I don't know. I feel like I want everybody to be happy and whatever that takes. Who let the dogs out?
I found. I know where the bunny is now. It's over there.
I don't think he is. I don't know. I am curious about emo people. I'm curious about things. I'm a curious person. I ask a lot of questions, and my Google history is bazonkers.
Well, yesterday you asked if I don't even know if we can put this online, but I'm gonna go for it. She wanted to know if little people, had normal size.
Oh, yeah, did we find out?
penises. No, I don't think Google answered you. I think that was even.
I'll ask
it was
ChatGPT.
too much. So
Do little?
my guess is
People have-
my guess is yes. Everything's.
I'll tell you this
everything's
much.
good to go.
I'm kind of in a fight with ChatGPT. So one thing that we've been talking about a lot lately is I've been using ChatGPT for various things, especially with trying to figure out how to do things for the podcast that I have actually not been doing because I haven't been feeling well. As a matter of fact, right now I am so itchy from freaking no-see-em bites.
From doing this podcast.
You come to Florida, you go
In
to
the
the beach, you think
screenhouse.
to yourself, oh no, I'm terrified. I'm going to get eaten by a shark. Let me tell you something. If you get bit by no-see-ems, you're going to wish you got bit by a
Well,
shark.
I will say this. One day we were talking at work about the most dangerous animal in New England or whatever. And most dangerous animal's gotta be the tick. The tick is spreading disease like wildfire.
Fuck of life.
What's that?
This is okay. So ChatGPT this is my own private version of hell. I asked it today. I had a question with it about religion. He answered the religion question.
You're asking
okay.
a machine about religion.
Well,
Okay.
I asked it to summarize the similarities and differences between different faiths.
Yep.
And lo and behold, more similar than different.
Right.
Although, I think I might be mostly down with the Hindus, based on my own personal beliefs. But I don't like to put labels on things. And plus, I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have me as a member. Which reminds me, we need to see if Christina is safe from the cult.
Oh, that's right. We got to do a wellness check at some point. I wish we could do this like a show. Like we could call people. People could call in.
Well,
and
we
stuff
could do
like
that.
I
But
think we
let me
gotta do
finish
that.
my
Your Chat GPT.
it is okay. So my friend was going to this wellness place, and it seemed like it might be a little culty. And she got there, and it, in fact, was not a cult. But we have had occasion to frequent cults, and we have made friends with some nice people from cults. We like their sandwiches. They have beautiful furniture.
Well, alleged cult. We don't know. There's,
I don't know if it's a cult, but it's a bunch of people that listen.
Hey, they do their thing.
Tomato, potato.
They do their thing.
I'm not a fan of labels, but they were very nice people. I had a meal with them in their home. My children danced with their children. We prayed together, and we've been invited to weddings and many things. And I don't know. I think I think that it's like how like back when cannabis was originally like a thing. They wanted to make it sound like dangerous and risky, so they're like, now it's called marijuana. Like, and because they, like, honestly, it was like a whole racist thing. They wanted people to think it sounded Spanish in some way, shape, or form, or South American, so it must be dirty. It's so terrible. Who knew? Greatest thing probably on the planet, at least for people with chronic illnesses and depression and PTSD and all the fun stuff that we had to deal with as people. In any case, I don't like political correctness. And so what I asked it was, do little people have normal sized penises? And I meant proportionate to their bodies. Like, if you're like I always forget the difference between a dwarf and a little person. I don't know what the difference is, right? I always mix it up.
I don't think you're supposed to say dwarf anymore.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say.
I don't know.
Please
know
if you're a small person, you're fun sized, whatever
that
you're
definitely not supposed to call them that.
I think it depends on the context. And that stripper at the tent strip club in Fort Myers, I think you can call her whatever you want for the right price. But she will steal your wallet, according to the Google reviews.
And she's not so good with them.
Yeah, but she does perform some manual relief for customers, and I think that it might be fun to have a little hand on your massive junk.
By the way, my wife did give me a hall pass to experience that.
I didn't.
And because it is pretty epic, if you think about it.
Actually, I watched a comedian today. He's
an HJ person. By an MJ.
It's an MJ.
I can't even. I don't know what the J is for. I was just throwing the J in there.
Okay, so there's a comedian he's a little person. I don't know his name, and he does a whole thing about he has this hot Asian wife. They met on a website for finding people for three-ways. And so he locked that down because you don't.
Oh, was that the one you were listening to today?
Yeah. And so apparently his
apparently there's a website for that, folks. If you're looking for some.
Tell us all about it. We're curious people. Why are people calling me in the middle of the podcast?
I do think that if you do partake in the three-way, there should be a trampoline involved, and somehow.
That crazy lady, I'm joining the podcast.
Oh, God help us. No, I'm gonna say goodnight to you. Can I call you later?
Wait, hold on. You gotta tell your podcast about your flop flops.
I talk about my flop flops every night. You would know that if you listen. Goodbye. Friends from Massachusetts, always calling to blend an ear of friendship and support.
Just so classy.
Classy
people that call here.
That's a story we could talk about. Is the time he got sexually assaulted by a 5th grade teacher. That sounds a lot worse than it really was.
Didn't. I wouldn't know, but it was his birthday, and all things.
You can't we'll have to tell that story.
We'll tell it a different
time. If you want to hear it.
Although Kid Rock was in the news today. Kid Rock was in the news today about a little bit of controversy, but maybe we'll save that.
So you're just bringing up topics after topic after topic.
I don't know. You're the one talking about midget penises right now.
So my point.
I'm sorry.
No, we had the conversation.
Okay, go ahead. Continue what you were going to say.
My point was I was frustrated with ChatGPT. That guy, this little person comedian, has a hot-ass tall Asian wife who's into three-ways, so good for them. That's not my jam, but I am curious about it. So come on the show. So I asked it, do little people have normal-sized penises? This is like an anatomical question. Like, I'm wondering about the structure of their bodies. It's inappropriate and insensitive to make assumptions or generalizations about the physical characteristics of an individual based on their height, gender, or any other personal attribute. Like, people of average height, the size of a person's genitals include the penis can vary greatly among individuals who are classified as little people or individuals with dwarfism. It's important to respect people's privacy and do not make assumptions or ask inappropriate questions about their bodies.
Yeah, Stacey.
Okay.
You got schooled by AI.
Did I walk up to a little person and go, hey, how big's your dick?
You would totally do that. You would totally do that.
If I became like really good friends,
If you knew one, yeah.
Hang on a second. People tell me everything. Can we agree with that?
Yeah, like, people are very forthcoming with
So
the private details.
I would not ask, but I'm not going to stop him if he wants to tell. I'm fascinated by penises. I'm really always fascinated by them. One of our favorite shows, television. We didn't even think about television shows. One of our favorite shows that I highly recommend. You can get. There's a few episodes on YouTube, but you may have to get a VPN in the EU to get it. What's it called? Naked Attraction. And so it's a show. They have 6 people in these colored telephone booths.
They're called singletons. We have 6 singletons.
Hot chick hosts the show. She's a lesbian.
Well, she's a little of both.
I thought she was a lesbian.
She's all things to all people. Oh yeah.
Whatever. She's hot as fuck. That's all that matters. Well, and she's delightful. She tells all these nice little sex facts. You learn new things. I learned all kinds of things about people who were transgendered and things about people that were what do you call it when you have intersex, when you have both things. I learned things about that was a big one that I learned about because I didn't really know a lot about that.
That's a party.
But there's always some fun facts. But the way it starts out is the 6 people. So you come out and you have your clothes on and you're bless you. You're standing there with the people, with the hostess, hot ass chick, usually in a pencil skirt, and the 6 dudes or chicks, whatever you're into. Could be a combination
Sometimes both.
of.
Yeah.
Could be all trans, whatever. They do all kinds of crazy things. They could throw in one old person.
You just called being trans
one
a
will
crazy
have-
thing, I think.
Oh, I don't mean that trans is a crazy thing.
we
I
just-
mean just variations of bodies. I mean fat, skinny.
Worried about legal
tattoos,
replications. Yeah.
Tattoos, no tattoos, amputees, you name it, they got it up there, naked. And so what happens is they show you all the way up to their belly button, and you're supposed to
You pick one, you eliminate somebody.
which one you want.
No, it's just the legs. You see, just the legs,
It goes legs.
and then it goes up to the
legs, and then it goes
Yeah.
package,
Yeah.
then it goes chest.
and
face.
then and then they talk to you.
And then they talk, they answer one question. So every round you get rid of somebody. But when you go to the final round where it's you and 2 people, you got to come out naked.
And then you pick from the 2 people.
When the thing is,
And then they hug. It's very
I have
funny.
a primarily American experience, and so it was interesting to see all the uncircumcised penises.
P9.
Which, P.S., if you ever see a soft-shell turtle, you will know it because it looks like a penis that needs to be circumcised. Although circumcision, widely accepted to be barbaric, we've been culturally
Here we go.
accustomed to pretty penises like yours.
Wow, thank you.
And your nice fire helmet, which I genuinely appreciate. But you know what? The kids of the next generation aren't going to care. So should we talk about...
Wouldn't be marital hate without talking about penises.
I don't even understand
Or
that.
whatever.
Why would there be hate about penises? Penises are all about love.
The show is called Marital Hate. You talk about penises a lot.
God, I love them.
Well, better than not
But
liking
yours is
them.
my favorite.
Especially when if you were my wife and you didn't like them at all, that could be an issue. For
yours
our
is my
marriage.
favorite.
Thank you.
It's my favorite.
Why? Thank you.
I wish I could detach it from you most of the time, though.
Because I'm a dink.
Sometimes.
Get it?
He's very grouchy. I asked my stepson.
I was not having a good day today.
I asked my stepson to come and co-host with me, but he lives in Massachusetts, so that would not work. But he's having a night. I guess there was an accident right in front of this building. Somebody got hit by a car, so the poor kid. So
Wasn't him though.
prayers to all the students at UMass Dartmouth.
good.
That must have been scary. Yeah, we're glad it's not our kid, but we don't want it to be anybody's kid. I mean, I don't know who you feel worse for in that case. The person that has to live with what they did for the rest of their lives. Or, the kid
sure.
that's dead. It's just shitty. Let's all be glad to be alive tonight. Even if your day is
Amen.
going very badly. Yay!
On the side of the dirt. Dink. Yeah. So I
Maybe
was
we can get some sort of La Croix endorsement.
possibly.
Oh, La Croix seltzer. It's all dog drinks. Tell him to drink some water.
All right. Here's. Do you want me to drink Monster Energy drinks or whatever
No,
energy drinks
but I
with all
want
the
you
chemicals and
to
stuff?
listen to your herbalist and nutritionist who said one seltzer, one water.
Well-
One seltzer, one water.
Okay. I was a little grumpy today. I wasn't feeling all that great, but it kind of like the whole job search thing was kind of getting me down. Today I was turned down by a company called Happy Head. That's how bad it's getting for me. I got turned down by a company I could not imagine. Where do you work? Oh, Happy Head. And
You really couldn't be married to me and work there. It would not. I could never go to a single company function. I couldn't have.
Hey, how are the Happy Head folks? Oh, they're
I couldn't. I would just have to make oral sex jokes all day long.
So, anyways, I looked into it. Happy Head was actually a company that makes, I don't know, some sort of hair restorative or products for your hair. So it was like Happy, and like that is
they don't have the kind of money it costs to hire you, and they should hire.
Well,
an
they
agency.
should have hired a branding agency to name them something better than Happy Head.
Happy Head is not
but they
good.
are getting some air time from us tonight, being Happy Head. So, anyways, I didn't get the job at Happy Head, so my
You're an
head is
unhappy
sad.
Well, I will say that you have, not to be all like calling you out on the carpet, but you have been a grouch all week.
It's not been a good week for me.
Yeah, well, you got to do something about that because energetically we bring to us,
Things.
our thoughts become things energetically. So you've got to really focus on what you want and not what you don't want. And I think like that's been really hard because I worked really hard to rewire my own thinking. I still struggle. But I'm trying to pull you along on that, and that's been kind of the bane of my existence for the last 10 years.
Well,
sorry I got sick and stopped working and became completely useless and just nothing but a drain on society. But
you did give me that hall pass for the midget.
But if you could just
stripper.
like come to a more positive vibe, I would appreciate it.
Try to every day. I really try to. But I think the job loss thing it messes up everything. It puts everything on
but that's
hold.
the point.
You can't spend a dime.
That's the point. The job loss thing is this negative energy that you're holding on to, and you believe it's impacting every area of your life. And the reality is that we have the money right now. Are we running low on money? Yeah, we are. But we've got a roof over our heads. We have a goddamn swimming pool. We have a beautiful podcast with people who love us. You have a record that's like 90% done, and ready to go to market.
Which
we did something to help a good friend out today, with her van wrap that we can feel
van
good
came out
about.
very good,
and listen, I think that van is going to be better advertising for you than any amount of money would be. I just scratched myself. I think it's all going to work out. It's going to work out the way it's supposed to. We got
just nerve wracking is all.
It is nerve
weighs
wracking,
on
but
you
you
after-
have to.
over time.
But when you're feeling that way, you have to stop and reset yourself. You have to do your affirmations. You have to meditate. You have to do breath work. You have to get yourself in a positive mindset, because I assure you, if you're in that bad place, when you're in a bad place, it's like a magnet. Just like when you're in a positive place, that's like a magnet too.
No, I know that. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I know, but guess what? It's like, actually, it's really funny. It's really funny because, guys, there's so many great comments in the live, and we're gonna try to hit you at the end. So please bear with us, because I'm seeing them and I'm high off my ass, and I can't even look at them because I'll get off on a tangent so bad. But please keep commenting.
You.
Please keep
thank
commenting.
you for the good words.
So anyway, like, what are you doing?
This is very exciting. In Cape Coral,
but
there was
no,
an animal sighting today. I'm trying to see if there's any other comments that are coming through my page.
Yeah, but that's not. You're on the Cape
You
Coral.
took a phone call. I can't just say.
You're on the Cape Coral page.
Look at
We're
an
in the middle
animal
of a
photo.
dial. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's rude.
Okay. Well, I thought your friend was rude, calling here during podcast time.
Okay,
and he's
so
probably
why
watching.
don't we take personal responsibility instead of worrying what other people are doing?
I was very excited about. I'm sorry, guys. There was a legless lizard sighting here in Cape Coral today. It's very exciting. A legless lizard looks like a snake, but it's actually a lizard. It's a legless lizard. It's a very big deal. I've never seen one in person, but there was one in Cape Coral today. Apparently, they're native to the area. I did not know. I'm very excited about it.
What other tangent would you like to go off on now?
Well, I did talk about Happy Head, which was...
No, I don't want to know which other tangent you want to repeat. What tangent do you want to go off on now? Because
you have
if
the
I'm
list.
in the middle of an anecdote, we zone off into fairyland, and we're looking at the Cape Coral residence page, which is definitely not checking the comments.
I was in a negative place. Legless lizard made me happy. Put me in a positive space. Legless lizard.
I'm about to throw a legless lizard in the pool. Marital hates.
I have legs, by the way.
Can you stop? Okay. Well, it's 8:30. What else did you want to talk about, Doug?
You have the list.
No, I just made a preliminary list of segments that we might want to do every day. We didn't really, we were just talking about it on the fly on the way in. and we'd started a few stories, but we got kind of derailed.
Well, why don't we go over the list and we can kind of talk about and tell people, and maybe they can react to them and say,
So-
that's a good idea, that's a terrible idea.
So we thought we'd do story time with Stacy, story time with Doug. A health item. Actually, I had a health item for today. I will do it right now. So I have basically refused all over the counter, like I don't do pharma anymore. I don't do I like once a year I'll take a hydroxyzine if I'm having a really bad allergic reaction. But by and large, I don't do pharma. I don't do like Sudafed or that over the counter stuff unless I absolutely have to. We use essential oils for cleaning. We use them for like making our house smell nice. We use them for health needs. We use them for like anxiety, that kind of thing. We use them for everything. And so I have a fuckload of no-see-em bites from the other night because they put new screens and I don't think they're no-see-em screens, and some get in here. So what we've done is, believe it or not, to keep the bugs away, since the other night when we got all these bug bites, is we run the diffuser out here with essential oil in it. What did you end up putting in it?
TerraShield.
TerraShield from doTERRA.
Brought to you by.
I don't sell doTERRA, but I have like a wholesale membership. I don't think it's a good, you know, I wouldn't want to do it as an income. I personally wouldn't. I don't think it's a very good return. However, I do think the wholesale membership is worth it, especially if you do the loyalty reward points. So basically,
We do use it for everything. Shampoo.
laundry
Everything,
detergent, spray
laundry
cleaner.
soap.
We make our own beauty products. We use it for the sinus bomb.
Oh,
my
the
God,
sinus
the
bomb?
sinus bomb.
We're going to do a clinic
We'll
on
do
the
a
sinus
live.
bomb.
We'll do a sinus bomb clinic. It's awesome. So there's so many things that we use it for, and it actually, believe it or not, saves us money. And it's just weird, but you have to know how to work the LRP program. So anyway, if you're interested in it, I'm happy to hook you up. I would get like I think I get like a referral fee if you're on or something, or maybe I get like a free hat. I don't know.
A free
But
hat.
I'm not like looking to make any money off of it, and I don't think that I would recommend it to someone as a business. But I do recommend purchasing the products for like you're replacing chemicals in your home and a more holistic environment. Anyway, I was covered in freaking no-see-em bites, and they, like, the first day, no problem. Second day, third day,
Boom.
they hurt like a motherfucker. And so I was in the house. So this is both a funny story and a health moment.
Okay.
So I had some clove oil. Clove oil is excellent for anything. If you have like a sore tooth, you rub clove oil and it numbs it. It's basically lidocaine. So I put some on my bug bites. Then I
Is this going somewhere really funny?
Oh yeah. And then I like hadn't washed my hands.
Uh-oh.
I went to the bathroom
Uh-oh.
and it felt like I could feel like there was a piece of like something. So I like checked, and then I accidentally, remember when I was in the bathroom screaming and I said,
yeah.
"Oh, I have something for the podcast." I got the clove oil on my
Downstairs bathing suit area.
what are they saying, yawny? That's what people are saying now.
I've never heard that.
My yawny, that's what
Okay.
people say. Or they're what are
It's a
they?
new one on me.
My vajayjay. No, it was like on the labia minora,
Okay, that's a
on
little
my
descriptive.
clitoris, like
that's
all-
a little descriptive
all
right there.
numb up in this bitch.
Numb.
I don't know when it's gonna wear off.
It's what they use on
So, yeah.
people in the army. They put clove oil in their underpants, so they'll get numb down there. It's like salt. It's this
Did you
year's
just
saltpeter,
What? I don't even know why would they do that.
so they wouldn't be all
Horned up?
going into battle. Yeah.
I don't know if it's better to be horny or not horny going into battle. Okay, so what we also wanted to do was a local news item. So I think we've done that. You said that there's a legless
Lizard
in
is very
Cape Coral.
exciting.
Yeah, I saw it about an hour before the podcast.
Yeah, but it didn't mean anything to you. It meant something to me
Because
I've
Doug
seen
has
pictures
a
of
job, or
legless
he's trying to find a job, or he's a functioning human being. He sees everything on the internet way later than me.
Yeah.
So if it's been, I've usually seen things like a week ago before he's seen it, unless it's something from TikTok that has been moved over to Reels, and then it's like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, everybody was into that 6 months ago, Doug.
Do you see Lucky Lindy made it, by the way, across the Atlantic?
I don't know who
Spirit of
that
St.
is.
Louis. That's Charles Lindbergh, the first
He's
pilot.
dead.
Yeah, he flew across the Atlantic.
Today?
Well, I'm just hearing about it. So. It was in the 1930s, I think. It was.
So you're saying that today is the anniversary?
No, today I just learned about it because I'm old and I learned things, well after
Okay,
the
but
fact.
am I really high, or is he making no fucking sense?
Oh, I made it funny.
Okay.
Okay. I was making fun of myself, so it's
If
okay.
anyone can tell me that that's funny or not funny, I would appreciate it because I'm really high. Okay. So our local news, international news item.
International news. I heard, a few days ago, they're sending a group of 4 people to the moon.
Who is? Elon Musk.
I don't know. But they had the 4 astronauts there, and they're all dressed up in their astronaut outfit. I think probably a little early to be getting in your suit at this point, but they took the portrait, and I don't know, they're supposed to, by the end of 2024, they said there's going to be landed people on the moon.
So,
which is very exciting to those of you who, well, it should be exciting to everybody, but one of my first memories ever was the moon landing on TV, and it was making a racket, and it was beeping and all that stuff. But I do remember, I was very young, but I do remember it.
fancy.
And then I remember them going in subsequent years, and then they brought the moon buggy up there, and there was a rubber band powered moon buggy attached to the bottle of Tang in the store, and I wanted one of those. And so apparently we had Tang, and I played with the moon buggy, and actually now that's like a hugely collectible thing, the Tang moon buggy. Sorry, that was
Now
a
you
tangent.
need to buy one.
No, I've always wanted one. I just, yeah, they're expensive.
International news. TikTok getting banned in Australia, Canada,
Oh.
Denmark, the EU, France, India, Latvia, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Pakistan, and Taiwan. I don't like their terms of service, but I don't like the terms of service of any of the social media networks. I don't think anybody does if they actually read them.
I would like to know how many people have actually read any terms of service.
Joe Rogan.
Oh yeah, that guy.
Well, no, because he was talking about it. He read them, and they're basically like they can do whatever they want. But that's basically all of these social media companies.
Yeah.
And there's this bill pending. It's like 656 or something, and it's basically going to give the, if it passes, it'll give the United States government basically the ability to control any app or platform that has over 1 million users. So that's everything.
Yeah, you don't want
games.
You want people
you
getting.
name it.
You don't want crowds gathering. You don't
But
want that.
And I know we touched on this yesterday, but the reality is, again, watch Snowden, watch the movie Snowden, or watch the Snowden interviews on Rogan or anywhere that you choose. He talked about some scary stuff about how your phones can see what's happening all the time, how it's been monitored. It was done, they'd done it years ago. They got in trouble. Then they renamed it the Patriot Act, and now they're going further and further and further and further. And, obviously I have no secrets, but I'd like to know why the fuck do they want to know? And for that matter, why the fuck do you guys want to know?
Here's the way.
Are you spies for the government?
Oh, all you
You
people, all you
spies for
watchers.
government?
I will say this. I don't imagine that the government, who can't even get me unemployment after 7 months on a state level, I don't think the government has much organization to tap into my phone and look at what I'm doing unless they find me to be a credible threat.
But they have software that can search everything all the time. Have keywords that can search everything. They can see in your house.
Well,
Okay, then let's add to that imagine, for the sake of argument, that you're a musician. Oh, look at that. You are a
I
musician.
am a musician.
Imagine that you
Part-time.
release a hit record.
Yeah.
You've seen a prediction right here, folks.
That's why they shot John Lennon.
And maybe they want to shut up your big mouth wife, or they don't like the message that you're sending, that they have some reason that they want to manipulate you.
Well,
Then what happens?
there is controversy over the death of Sam Cooke. They say that there was a lot of people involved.
JFK has been
All I want to know about JFK is was it the one gun? I'm pretty sure it was the one gunman. Boom, boom, boom. See you later. Catching a bus.
there was definitely CIA
But
involvement. There's no way there wasn't CIA
It wasn't just
involvement.
one guy doing it on
I've
his
seen
own.
more coverage
honestly.
that it's been CIA involved, more credible coverage than the CIA was involved, as far as I'm concerned. But again, the government's going to hack into everything. Okay, so what else do we have? Song of the day.
Oh, song of the day. I'm going to loop back a little bit. I may have mentioned this in a prior podcast, but we were out to dinner right after we got to Florida. We went to a place down the street, and it just happened to be open mic night. And as a musician, I'm always watching these guys, whatever. A lot of, like down here, there's a lot of live music, and most of it's like singer-songwriter, guitarist kind of stuff. So this night, no different, singer-songwriter kind of stuff. And But older guys doing like Springsteen and Dylan and Jimmy Buffett, like nothing out of the ordinary, right? They were all good, all great, whatever. And then this kid gets up, and well, he wasn't really a kid. He was probably like, I would assume he's in his late 20s, early, maybe 30 or so. He gets up there, and his guitar was tuned to an odd tuning, and he starts playing.
Talk about the brown note that makes everybody shit themselves.
No, not the brown note. No. So, anyways, he gets up there, he starts playing.
Can you learn the brown note?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Supposedly there's this brown note that you play in music, and it makes everyone shit themselves.
Oh, I haven't heard that. I heard if you punch somebody in the armpit, it'll just come right out.
Do you think that I would not have had you punch me in the armpit if I believed that there was any truth to that?
Punching my wife for any reason.
Shit yesterday? No shit. Oh, I had a little shit today.
That's
so
great.
Everybody knows.
That's
I have like a
fantastic.
shitometer.
People are tuning in to find out. Inquiring minds want to know. Anyway, so we go to this place. This guy comes. Everybody's doing their regular thing, and this kid comes on, and was so different. Plays his first song, and I'm like, and everybody in the crowd was like, "What the hell is this?" Right? Like they didn't know what the hell was happening. This kid's doing original songs, whatever, and he plays his second song. I turn around. He starts playing this song, and the name of the song was "I Want to Go to Mongolia," and I'm like, this might be the punkest thing I've ever heard in my life. It just took me right back to 1979 when we put our band together and writing songs about hardware stores or whatever. And he wanted to go to Mongolia. And I'm like, who the hell wants to go to Mongolia? And who writes a song about that? And so...
but with the chorus is, I
want to go to Mongolia.
Because then I'll be much holier.
I'll be much holier. And then, but some of the lyrics, I listened to it again, and I heard it came up on my YouTube today. And one of the lyrics is, my scars are photogenic. And I'm like, that... But anyways, so seeing this kid live... I was like,
did a good show.
I was like, oh my God, this is.
But it's not for everyone.
This kid is amazing. Nobody knew the song, so nobody was into it. They just went back and ate their dinner. But I was riveted on this kid. So he plays his set, and then he goes and sits down. I go over and I'm like, I introduce myself, and he's like, hi, I'm Andrew, and I'm like, that was fantastic. And his parents were there, and so. I start talking to the dad. Dad gives me the CD, and I didn't have any money on me. I got to pay you for this. And he's like, no, this is great. Come to find out, he had his name is Andrew Neal. Was nominated for a Grammy. There was a little mini documentary on YouTube made about his life. This kid had no musical talent. Had a head injury. Came out of it, had mental issues. Ended up in a mental hospital, and wrote and recorded his whole album in the mental hospital. It was the only time an album was written and recorded in a mental facility. But he's out, and he's touring, he's playing everywhere, and he was down here just by accident. I don't know how we caught him, but if you want a treat, look up Andrew Neal, Neil. Song Mongolia. It's a treat. And it's so different and so weird. And so honest, right? Even in the intro to the song, that on the version I saw, he was like talking about his, mental struggles and things like that. And I just thought it was so fascinating. But there was something about it, like, that was so different to me to hear after all these years. Like, kind of took me back to hearing like the Talking Heads for the first time, or some of the early punk stuff. And I don't think he considers himself punk, but it was. It was amazing. So we got the CD, we throw it in the Jeep on the way home. It's fantastic. It's unbelievable work. So it's just there's sort of a typical way he writes songs, but it's all very, very good. So Andrew Neal,
check him
look
out.
him up.
He's
YouTube.
on
YouTube.
YouTube.
Yep, and he's also on Apple Music and things like that.
So we just had our story time with Doug.
Well, it was story time and musical recommendation.
We got for some sort of owlie fact.
I think the owlie fact could be the...
the turtle with the circumcision. Soft shell turtles look like they need to be circumcised. I was going somewhere with that story. We talked about the Naked Show.
Yeah. We did talk about that.
Oh, we never finished talking about the Naked Show. The bottom line is the Naked Show, Naked Attraction. It's so much fun to watch. And you learn that everybody's body is beautiful in different ways, and everybody's body can sometimes be gross.
Like they've had people. They've had amputees in there. They've had people like
everybody,
through,
old people, young people. Like these people, like I like anybody who's willing to go on national television naked is like I can like I respect that. I'd do it, but I am also like willing to walk around naked. I just don't give a fuck. You know.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm so naked that I have on. I've been naked so much. I just threw this moo on yesterday, right before the podcast.
Yeah.
Then threw it on at I don't know. I
5
didn't
minutes
get
before
dressed
this
like
podcast.
5 minutes before the podcast because I'm naked all the fucking time. Clothes hurt. If you have a chronic illness, you know what this is like. But clothes hurt. Like somebody out there make cute clothes that don't make you look super fat, that are super comfortable and really soft and really easy to put on. I don't ever want to wear a bra or underwear again. They hurt too much. Can you make that happen? Well, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm in my little moo and that's how I rock out.
Yeah,
Sorry, or
well,
you're
clothes
welcome.
for you is usually like some sort of hair apparatus that is holding your hair
Right now,
together.
I'm so fucking hot. All I want to do is jump in the pool, and I don't feel good. I haven't, and I'm, it just hasn't. It's been a long week. I'm trying to pull you up, and I'm falling in the quicksand with you, and it's
When it's not
rough.
good.
We got to turn it around. But let's do okay. So some sort of cooking thing. I thought you might tell them how we make our stuffed sausage.
Oh, the stuffed sausage.
We got this recipe from TikTok.
It was a TikTok thing. Take a sausage, you cut it down the middle, you put cream cheese down in, kind of make a canoe
Smear.
out of it. Put cream cheese, green. That does not look like you're putting cream cheese on a hot dog.
Do you think?
I will not do the hand movements. But the without a can of flarp.
What's wrong with you?
You're gonna lick your finger and it's still gonna have that clove
Clove
oil
on
on
it.
it. And you're gonna be
I don't give a shit if my
like
tongue
a
is numb,
thing.
my pussy's numb. That's a
Oh my
bigger
goodness.
problem.
So anyway, what kind of sausage? A good point. It's a mild Italian sausage. I believe you could use a chicken, turkey, or regular sausage. You don't really need to make that face. And if you stick your tongue in your cheek, I'm gonna laugh my ass off. So you put little sliced peppers, onions, and they say jalapenos. You don't have to do it. I threw some sun-dried tomatoes in there. So much for food time. We start with the sausage after, and you can, and you know what? You circumcision people, you can take the casing off. You can leave the casing on, whatever you like.
Leave
And then
the
you throw
casing on.
then you throw cheese on it, bacon in the oven. Boom, boom, boom. It's delicious. I'm blowing it because it might be hot.
It's very hot.
And then I like, you know what?
And then you put it in your mouth.
Good night.
Good night. Where are you going?
I don't think I don't think I'm old enough to be on the show anymore.
Time? Okay. Also, okay. So that's a cooking. So how long do you cook it? What temperature?
About 45 minutes, 350. Boom.
They're delicious. When we have an RV and we're gonna follow the Buffalo Bills, it's gonna be our tailgate food that we share with people.
Special thing.
I think we're gonna do that with what's the there was a side that bean brulee.
Bean brulee. If
Stay
you guys don't
tuned.
know
Nope,
about
don't.
bean brulee, you
We'll
got to
tell
stay
you another
tuned.
week.
That's a teaser, folks.
Still, no one has guessed what I got my varsity letter in.
Bean making.
I don't know, but there's a prize. It is a custom Photoshop, courtesy of Doug Gear,
Yeah.
to the person who guesses this. Let me tell you something. You want a Doug Photoshop.
Oh, yes,
he
you do.
does some crazy shit. And not to be used for fraudulent purposes, like printing your own money. Well, although for a fee, we'd be willing to consider it. And then we're going to talk about a craft. But here's the thing.
Craft.
We don't have a craft planned. But one of the things that you and I have talked about, so little known fact, or very known fact, is we fantasize about having an RV and traveling and doing all kinds of crazy shit, like following the Buffalo Bills. I don't give a
Burning
shit
Man.
about
She
them,
wants
but
to go
he
to
likes
Burning
it.
Man.
Burning
the
Man.
Desert.
I like to go to Arizona. I mean, obviously, you have to be healthy before I can do any of this. So this is like, first get healthy, have any money, get healthy,
Right.
maybe buy a house, RV, travel.
Well, the good thing is that the Lyme clinic that is very expensive that we could take you to is like just outside of Vegas. or
Yeah, we just
somewhere.
need to
So
win
that'd
the
be
lottery.
fun.
We'll be
yeah,
fine.
We'll go there.
We'll just win the lottery. We'll be fine.
Taking some mama shots
I
and-
hear it's big tomorrow, so maybe we get one tomorrow. But anyway, not the point. The point is that winning the lottery, getting healthy, we like to travel in an RV. And so, and follow these things and have our bean brulee on the side. You're going to need the recipe for that. We'll do it another day.
We would actually travel up and see all our friends. We would go all over. Like we have friends in Virginia. We have friends.
I don't know a state I don't have friends in. I actually made a new friend on TikTok today,
yeah.
and he lives in Kentucky.
I know people
Shout
in
out to the
Maryland. I
Kentucky
don't
friend.
know anyone in
My
Delaware.
other, I have one Kentucky friend. I had another Kentucky friend. He moved to
Yeah.
Alabama, and then he died.
Now he's gone.
That's a story.
That's
we
a
should
whole
talk about.
different
That would
episode
take
right
a whole
there.
episode
Yeah.
to talk about that. But I do feel the need to say, yeah, we would go big or small with a camper, but I really want, I think a camper van would be good because it's small. You can pretty much go anywhere. We'd like to be set up to off-gridding. We could do a whole episode.
Well,
on
we
our
might be
fantasy
living
RV.
in Tracy's 40-footer.
Yeah, we may have to rent that
before
from
long,
you,
so-
Tracy. Can we be your house guest forever?
She'll kick us out once she becomes a lady cop, and then she'll kick us out.
She's not going to be a cop. She's going to be a civilian forensics
yeah.
investigator, which means she can help me cover up a crime.
Hey now.
Thank you, new best friend. Get some life insurance.
No, I don't want to die.
What?
Everybody likes me.
So I'm just saying, Tracy and
Yeah.
her lovely wife,
Yeah,
help me cover up your murder. We all are golden girls.
that's true.
I'm already in the moo.
The moo.
Moo.
The
In my moo-moo.
for the creme brulee.
I've already got flamingos for us to float in. I have. I don't really have any alcohol, but we can. There's a Publix down the street. You can like walk there, and they deliver too. It's Florida. Everybody has alcohol. Your
CVS
mailman.
has- CVS has
If you
liquor.
ask your mailman for a shot of Jack, I think he'll get you. Let's see what else. So I wanted to tell the story because we alluded to this, and I feel like we need to tell this story. So anyway, please help me kill it. We'll get life insurance. We'll kill Doug. We'll be golden girls. It'll be a good time.
Not good.
I'm what?
This is not good.
Why? Can I?
Because I end up dead,
Well,
and
you
you
told
end up
me if
hanging
I
out.
die, if you die, I have to become a lesbian. So, you know,
Yeah,
they'll
they,
introduce
yeah,
me
they're
to some of their
probably as good
friends.
as they get.
They'll
right?
introduce me to some of their friends.
Okay, excellent.
I don't know. Maybe I'll get crazy and try to be
I
a
won't have to
throuple.
deal
You
with.
don't know.
I won't
Maybe,
have to deal with you anymore.
I think I'll haunt you. Even
In your
when
your clove oil parts.
You wish you had clove oil parts. Every man in America is going to run home and rub clove oil on himself so he can last longer tonight.
Oh,
Give it a shot. Let us know. Try not to get in your pee hole. All right. So, I wanted to tell the story about my friend getting molested by a 5th grade teacher because I don't feel like that's something you can just
yeah, you can't just
off
leave
with.
that out
like,
there. It
sounds
wasn't
like-
really a molestation.
Like
I think we
she
should be
watched
careful.
this guy get molested by a 5th grade teacher. That's crazy. Okay, what happened is my friend turned 21, and I actually was we went to see Buck Cherry at the ranch. They put on an awesome show. And Valiant opened for them. Their local band, really good. They always put a good show on. There was another band that sucked, and they were rushing
Oh
everybody
God!
else off
I
the
wish I
stage.
knew their name. That was probably the worst band I'd ever seen.
They were terrible, and they rushed all the other bands that were actually good off the stage because they wanted to do their 5-minute set.
I'm gonna research that, and I'm gonna that'll be my song of the day tomorrow. Like it'll be so bad that you won't even understand.
The band I hate. But anyway, we saw them, and I made friends with this chick, JJ. She was super cool. Also a total hottie, very zoftig.
know what
But
that
like
means.
me.
Oh, it's once an episode, folks.
I'm getting more gestures lately. I'm having gesticulation and tongue action and
Yeah,
the
well,
big,
you are, and then you
dining
did
at
the whole sausage
Dining at the
thing.
Y yesterday was a big hit.
That was a big hit.
I
Yeah.
got 3 people send me stills of that one. Incidentally, I realize I've proclaimed on this podcast not once but twice that I eat pussy. I've only done it twice, like ever. So it's not like it's like I do it all the time. It's not like I'm running around.
Well, do I need to give you a hall pass for the midget stripper in
No,
Fort
the
Myers?
midget stripper is dirty.
She nasty. Give her some chapstick because she's
Midget stripper.
nasty.
Sorry, little person stripper.
I don't know. Whatever, all
Sex
right? We're
worker.
just doing our own podcast.
sex
We don't mean
positive.
anything. We like
We're
everybody.
just idiots.
We would hang out with people.
Okay, so this back to we love everybody, dude. We will totally hang out. We
We had a
will
little
like.
person at our wedding. No, we didn't. But that usually is the
not-
coverall.
That's not entirely untrue. We had a couple little people at our wedding.
We had children at our wedding.
I'm not going to name names, but we have some little friends that were at our wedding that are just this shy. But that's good things come in small packages. That's why I'm terrible. Okay, so we make friends with this chick, JJ. She was hot as fuck, and she says to me, "Oh, I bought my Kid Rock tickets today." I'm like, "Oh, Kid Rock's coming? That would be so cool. I want to see Kid Rock," especially with like all the political stuff. And he's had some opinions, and it's Florida, so like even if that's not where your politics lean, the fucking people watching. So I'm like, oh, we got to go to this. So
There's no we in that
so
situation.
yeah,
like
no,
that.
this one straight up refuses to go. Come to find out, it's on my friend's 21st birthday. How do I have a 21-year-old friend, you ask? my kids always had their friends over all the time, and the kids became like a part of the family. I haven't been able to shake any of these little bastards, but usually we don't want to because they're absolutely amazing. And gosh, there's so many. Jim, Nora, Zach, Jacob, Daniel, Rockwood,
Big Rock.
I said Jim, even, Mike, like all those kids, just all of them. I'm forgetting people, but like all the kids that still show up, the kids that still call, that are like a part of our family. So anyway, one of my friends in particular, Zach, has been like a member of the family since he showed up one day and fixed a bunch of things around my house. I'm sorry, but like, you fix things in my house, I love you. I love you. You cook, I love you. This kid, exceptional, absolutely exceptional young man. I wish one of my daughters would marry him, or sons, I don't care. I just want him to be part of our family.
Well, personally, I think my sons can do better.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Wow.
I know this kid.
Wow.
I think they can do better.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. Of course I'm kidding. But that would be mingling. That would be like, that would not be good.
I don't even know what that means, but okay. It would be like incesty. Is that what you're saying?
A little bit. Yeah,
it's a little
so.
incesty, I think. But anyway, so I buy and I'm like, hey, I know that it's your birthday and your family probably wants you to be there, but is there any way you could maybe like come to Florida for this? I'll fly you in the day of. We'll go to the concert. Again, pre-job loss. Big deal, his 21st birthday. And he's like, he checks with his family, and oh no, he didn't even check with his family. He's like, why would I have to check with my family? I'm an adult, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, but you still should. like, and it's so funny too, because like, I want to treat him like an adult, but I'm also like a mom, so I have to be like all mom code about stuff. Like, is it cool with your parents if you... I don't know if it was. I should have just checked with them before I even asked, but then he really would have been mad at me. That's not the point. Yes, my grandfather is married to my first cousin. That's a whole other story.
Hey.
Not my first cousin, his first cousin. So I guess she'd be my third cousin and grandmother. So
one less Christmas present to buy.
Back to my friend. So we fly him in to Tampa for his 21st birthday. I drive up there to meet him. Doug refuses to go see Kid Rock. We went and had a lovely lunch with our friends, Christina and Brent. They came over from the East Coast, took us out for lunch. We had a great time. It was great to see them. And we're in the Jeep with no top. We had the bikini top that we throw on, like, in case it's going to rain, or like, because we keep the Jeep in the garage. So, the downpours here, usually it's warm rain. It's about, 15 minutes of a monsoon, and then it goes away. And I don't even think the top, our hard top leaks anyway, so I don't think the top does anything to protect you. But Zach and I are driving. He's driving. And it's a monsoon. To the point where lightning, thunder, power is out for miles. So we pull in.
She's driving around with a gas light on.
Of course I am. And I like to live dangerously. Yeah. And
so reckless.
Yes, with low with needing gas in the greater Tampa Bay area where there's 50 million gas stations. Anyway,
could have stopped anywhere.
Power's out. We can't get gas. Us and 500 other cars are pulled under this awning because it's rain. You can't see a foot in front of you. So finally, it lets up a tiny bit. We found a gas station that was open. We go down there. Come to find out, it's across the street from the concert. So we are drenched. And he is wearing, by the way, cutoffs, a Hawaiian shirt, a straw hat that he bought at a gas station, and American flag cowboy boots. I look like a normal person. And then,
think my son's going to be attracted to that? I don't think so.
I don't even know what to say about any of that, but that's okay. Because it doesn't matter. He's got options. So we get out. We get into the concert. It's a long line. He bought a t-shirt. You have to go through security. We get to our seats. And, we're meeting the people around us. Sits behind us a nice couple. I forget the wife's name. She was lovely. I think it was Lisa for some reason, but I'm not sure. And Tom. And I'm telling Tom, they're like, oh, is this your son? And I'm like, no. I'm like, I explained the whole story of how we know each other and how he's like a part of our family that, and it's his 21st birthday. And how he's so responsible and how just I'm impressed by this young man that I am, and how, again, I wish that he would marry. There's so many animals out there. I don't even know what's happening. Anyway, he, so Tom is like, yeah, kid, don't forget to enjoy your life. You don't have to work all the time and blah, blah, blah. And, but they, Tom took a shine to Zach, and then more people came in. So there's a group of people, I don't know, 6 to 10 people. And, when you stand up from your seat so people can get to their seat, but it kind of slows down. So there's music playing. And this one woman who had had a fair amount of lemonade, I should also point out, by the way, that Floridians tailgate. Like, they're out there in a monsoon with their awnings. Girls are out there twerking. Like, Zach was like, I've never seen anything like this before. You know, even one concert is a Kiss concert. Different outfits at that concert, different vibe. And so this woman is like kind of dancing in front of him, and I'm like, oh, it's his 21st birthday. Well, it was on. So he's like, okay, he don't like to be touched. He's not like that guy. And he's like, he sits himself down thinking that this is over. Oh no, she sits on his lap and she is going to town. And I had joked that we were going to buy him a lap dance for his birthday. Obviously we wouldn't, but I joked about it. From the midget, obviously. The little person. Sorry. Little person.
We're terrible people.
Little person, stripper person at the tent in Fort Myers. Tent. We have a strip club that is in a tent.
It was leveled by a Cat 5 hurricane. Florida strong tent. We
will rebuild a strip club in a tent.
I think we should try and do the next podcast from down there. Go ahead.
We're not set up for mobile. So he's got the so she's on his lap. Tom, now he does not like to be touched. Tom grabs him by the shoulders and goes, "Get him, boy! It's raining pussy!" I am on the floor laughing. Like, I am laying on the floor with, like, covered in sticky Bud Light because I'm on the floor laughing my head off so hard. It was the funniest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life. And the kid had a Bud Light seltzer was like the extent of his alcohol consumption. And then the other thing was
there is video of this.
I can't show the video. It would literally end this woman's life.
Well, it looked less like a lap dance and more like
an
epileptic fit. Yeah.
Yeah, I could hear you on that one. But so what happened was, so the family she's with her family, and so her sister-in-law is like kind of annoyed. The brother-in-law is annoyed. The husband is pissed, and Zach is terrified that the husband is going to come over and start some shit. But the worst part is her kid was there, who's like a middle school student, watching his mom behave like this. I think we've all had moments where
my mom never danced.
We're not proud,
but 21-year-old.
She was grinding up on him, and she's like, "I'm 50. You just gotta let it loose sometimes. I'm a 5th grade teacher." It was so. Except it wasn't like that. It was more like a posting motion. She was like,
"Oh, hello." Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to the other thing. The sausage was probably better pantomime for me to be doing. So anyway,
starting to rain here in Florida.
So there's 2 other things. Yes, it's starting to rain. There's 2 other things that happened that day. One of them, we were pulling out of the gas station, and we're just drenched, and there were just rains coming in the Jeep sideways, and we pull around the corner, and of course all the water accumulates on the bikini top. It all flies off, and this guy standing outside, like total Florida man, goes, "That's how we do it in Florida, yeehaw!" And it was fantastic, and I loved it. And then the other thing that happened is when we got there, we kind of hung out under a tree for the rain to let up, because we get rain like this, but this is nothing. This is like a drizzle compared to what we had, and it's coming down pretty good. There was a guy like working on his El Camino, like in the parking lot of the Kid Rock concert in Tampa. And
you don't even have. Yeah, that's such a natural. Right
okay,
there.
well,
that's
hang
awesome.
on. So I'm telling you, everybody was so nice. The people watching was fantastic. Kid Rock put on a show. He played the trumpet. He played the piano. He spun records. He played guitar. He sang a cappella. He had other artists come up. It was absolutely fantastic, and I would say it was also like a little
Glam rally?
It was not like a glam rally. They were actually surprised by the diversity of the crowd. But it was just a lot of people who were hardworking Americans who were fed up with a lot of stuff that is going on in the world around us. Why is there so much noise? Anyway, I'm way too high to be out here. So the guy's working on his car, and he revs the engine like so loud. And the guy next to us, who's walking around with a bud in his hand, and clearly been drinking all day, also in cutoffs, in a was like a Budweiser tank top, yells, "Raise hell and praise Dale!" Every time I hear a car rev, I do that. Doug loves it.
Well, she also does that in that high pitched tone.
Raisdale and Praisdale.
So in the news today, apparently
We are getting rained on.
Budweiser put out a special trans can for this woman that used to be a man. It was their 1-year anniversary. I don't know if they're an athlete or something, but Budweiser put out a can to commemorate this or whatever. And so Kid Rock took it upon himself to post a video of himself shooting with a gun
I did.
cans of
Here's my
beer,
thing.
of that beer, whatever. It was
Here's my
Budweiser.
thing. First of all, our computers are getting wet. Like, literally, it's raining in sideways. But I will say this. I fucking hate it when brands will try to placate a given community to drive business in. It's
Right, but you also hate when entertainers voice their opinions.
well, I hate if they have an idiotic opinion that I can't support. I don't like it when they do that. No, but I also.
But when you agree
hang
with
on,
them?
but at the same time, I respect them for saying it. But there's so many of these celebrities are just off the fucking rails in terms of stuff that they've done. And again, Epstein client list. You know, Hollywood's a fucking cesspool. And I've said it once, I'll say it 1,000 times. I think that with money and power, you have corruption. It's invariable. Like, these people just need more and more and more and more, and that's what happens. So, while I see that some people might view it as anti-trans, and I certainly I don't support anything that is anti-trans, and I don't support anything that's anti-anything. But I do hate when brands will be like, oh, we're gonna market to, like, suddenly we care so much about black people. Oh, suddenly we care so much about the gays. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, no, they see dollar signs.
Right.
They want what is
Well,
going
that's
to make
true.
us
That's
money?
very
What's
true.
the cause du jour? They don't actually care. They don't actually care.
So,
And-
well, I think there's a movement for the diversity and inclusion of late, which I think is a good thing.
I do not. See, I think it's a terrible. Like,
but it-
Morgan Freeman said, "How do you stop?" Somebody had asked him, "How do you stop racial division in this country?" And he said, "Stop talking about it."
I
Stop talking
I
about
totally
it.
agree with that.
And you know what? It was funny too. Actually, this is a great story. We're at our friend's house. It's his parents' 50th wedding anniversary. He's having a party. A lot of neighbors over, friends of theirs in the community. And I get chatting with a dark-skinned gentleman, and he was black, dark-skinned, not Indian, brown-skinned, but there was like Pakistani brown-skinned. There was Asians. There was everybody. It was Puerto Rican doctor. Like, everybody's there. Whole world.
It was the UN up in that bitch.
So I got chatting. It was, and I got chatting with this fella, and we were talking about just life in general. And I liked him. He was a good guy. And I mentioned that I'm Portuguese, and again, this was before I knew I'm only a quarter Portuguese. I
Not
thought I was
bad,
half.
not
I was so
much.
proud of myself, but no. Anyway, not the point. At the time, I thought I was half, and I was like, "Well, I'm Portuguese," and blah blah blah, something about being Portuguese. Maybe I was talking about having fat ankles or a beard or something, but we were talking about it, and he goes, "Oh, I'm mulatto," and I'm like,
I don't know. I don't know if
the
you can say
whole
that.
room, by the way,
quiet.
the white people in this room are like, the people of different nationalities are also like, but the white people are like, oh my god, like, they're terrified. Like, I'm the only white person. They were like, what? Like, white was the minority that night.
Probably, yeah.
Which is probably what people have experienced their entire lives as a minority, is what we experience whenever we hang out with our friends, but that's beside the point. But we go, so he goes, I'm mulatto, and I'm like, the whole room totally silent. You can hear a pin drop, and I go, I don't think you're supposed to say that. He goes, I'll say whatever the fuck I want. And I'm like, are we best friends? Are we best friends right now, forever? Because I just refuse to give credence to any word. And I think that, like, you change the meaning of a word, or, like, times change. You don't, like, by getting mad at people for the way they phrase something, instead of, like, sitting down with them, getting to know them, having a conversation with them, and actually changing their mind. Because when you're pointing at someone else and calling them a racist, what you're really doing is just pointing 4 fingers back at yourself and saying, you know what, I don't really want to change it. I just want to be fucking pissed. I want people to be divided, and I want people to be hated. You know what? I have a friend who is, we always joke that she's from Weymouth, but she was, she grew up in a different time, and she uses phrases that I would not use. And I've introduced her to people from every stretch of personality, race, upbringing, background, whatever, and she loves them all. She loves them all. So just by meeting these people, like at a cookout, she's no longer racist. She's no longer like, she's always going to say racist words. But she doesn't have hate in her heart. She knows these people. She just, you know, and it's kind of like the people say like the R word or the G word. Like when we grew up, that was just like what you said. We would never say anything negative to a person that was disabled. We would never say anything negative to a person that was gay. It just, you know, the changing, like we have to stop being so defensive and what's the word I'm looking for? Offended by everything. Ask yourself what the person's intentions are. And you know what? The thing is, if you let somebody else affect you in that way, like you're really the one that's you're giving them all the fucking power, because all I know is all I have to do is say your fucking pronoun wrong and you're gonna go into a tizzy. Well, guess what? I'm gonna do my best to get your pronoun right. Like I always want to respect everybody and treat them. But I'm old and fucking slow. I'm gonna fuck that shit up.
Well, I think there's a big overcorrection, right? So like, oh, we got to be sensitive to this, so you become too sensitive, and then it comes back down, and then something else comes along, and
you can vote. But here's the thing: you can care about people's feelings and also fuck up sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you want me to love and accept you for who you are, I expect you to love and accept me for who I am.
No, indeed, and that kind of
that is old and feeble and baked all the time.
Baked and numb downstairs. One of the things I've found on my job search is that you have to go through, and they ask you your sexual orientation, your
how is that
your blood type,
business?
all this stuff. So it keeps going down. And on one job interview, I had to are you Hispanic? Well, no. Well, what are you? White. So then you go down some more. Well, do you consider yourself? It was about 3-4 times I had to answer that I was not Hispanic. So I start thinking to myself, my wife is sort of not
what are you,
really
Elizabeth
Hispanic.
Warren?
No, but that's the thing. It's like they ask you questions that one asked me if I was cisgendered male or whatever, and I'm like, and there were so many options. I'm like, I don't know.
But how
I don't know if this is pertinent to being a designer.
If I'm your doctor and maybe there's a rare disease that's based on like your ethnic origin, that makes sense to ask that question. If I'm your doctor, if I'm your gynecologist or medical doctor, I need to know what your gender is. And if I'm gonna have sex with you, I need to know what your sexual preference is. However,
so you can dress accordingly.
There's no reason for an employer to know any of those things.
Right. No. Well, you know, and that brings up a good point. If everybody's created equal, you know, then everybody should be able to do the job equal and be looked at on their strengths.
Everybody is not created equal. Everybody's different. Everybody has different gifts and talents.
I was created handsome. What am I supposed to do about it? I was just looking at our radar here. We got storms coming. There was a little thunder in the area.
We are wet. We are wet and not
so we might
like
want to
in a
just
fun way.
we want to wrap this stuff up.
We'll do our gratitude. So you're gonna have to fucking pay attention. I am grateful that I don't have to put water in the pool tomorrow. That saves us some money.
I'm grateful to not have to get up tomorrow and work for happyhead.co.
I am grateful. Oh, jeez. What is wrong with me? Oh, I'm grateful for the bunny that came today, the albino lizard, the cat.
The legless lizard.
Everybody who joins us in the podcast, always grateful for you, every day.
Excellent. I am also grateful for this roof right here, right now, because I don't know if you can see the rain bouncing in that pool back there.
They can hear the rain
on
the roof.
It's actually applause.
Okay.
It's applause.
Yeah, we're awesome. Oh, we beat the Super Mario World
all 8 levels.
8 castle.
First time through.
First try. Boom.
Boom, no problem.
Your girl still had her flocker head on. It was fucking awesome. Yeah, it's a drum solo. Okay, what do you got?
Oh, more gratitude?
This is 3 for you.
I'm grateful that this podcast cheered me up. And with talks of midgets and clove oil and things of that nature.
I'm grateful that my stepson reached out to me today to ask me a question about his new tattoo and his future pursuit of being on Big Brother or other reality show. He would be awesome. I think
Yes.
he's an incredibly astute, dynamic, hardworking, and charming young man. I think he'd be good on one of those reality competition
Yeah.
shows, especially because he's good at strategy.
And my other son was grateful. He got his new bike today.
Oh.
He does a lot of cycling around, and he got his new bike. I'm very happy about that.
Electric or regular?
Regular.
Ah,
Regular.
I'm going
You know-
electric for the hills.
He's not a lazy gentleman. He's
I'm
out
not a
there. He's
lazy
out there
bitch,
riding
but,
like old style.
If I have like a POTS attack, I have to be able to get back somehow. I'm grateful. I'm grateful my friend wasn't abducted by a cult today.
Oh,
But she
she
made
wasn't.
new
Did we
friends.
know? Did we do a check-in?
She did. She
Okay,
gave me
all
a
right, good,
wellness
good, all right.
check-in. I'm grateful my friend wasn't abducted by a cult. But if you're in a cult and you enjoy it, good for you. We support you in your cult. Come join my cult. We just need some land and money.
We need land and Kool-Aid. Is what we need.
Ayahuasca.
You keep it better. All right, we're going in. We're free. We're
Wait,
we're
you
getting
gotta
some.
do your last thing you're thankful
I
for.
will,
We need
last
to
one.
interact with the crowd. What are you
I
thankful
am
for?
thankful for those sausage things. Those are
Sausage.
delicious.
Okay, we gotta answer their questions. Holy fuck, you guys are awesome. Bean Brulee, tomorrow night, tune in. It was definitely not cheerleading, although I was a cheerleader. Dyed my hair pink, they kicked me off the squad, and my boyfriend on the football team dumped me. So I could go out with a guy from the lacrosse team who was at our wedding. We'll take your 40-foot camper and live in it. Please and thank you. If you're interested in donate their bodies to science. I'm totally willing to donate my body, so tell me how to do that. It's all yours. I would love it to be for Lyme research. Hook me up. Rockwood, we love you. We miss you. I hope you're still watching Netflix. And let me know how you're doing. Doug can be Charlie and we can be our angels.
I'll just call in on the phone. I
Too
don't
much
even have
power.
to be there.
Too much power for him.
Angels.
No, I think it would be more like, I don't know. Jack, like from Jack and the Three's Company. He'd be like Jack, but you would have to give him something that would make him in a better fucking mood because he's a grouch.
I'll be Mr. Furley.
Age ain't nothing but a number. It's a number you can make up. Just make it whatever the fuck you want. I'm 46, and I'm proud of it, but whatever. Forensics training, yeah. Can you smell what the big rock is cooking? I read that as cock.
Oh,
If you can smell your cock, you might want to see a doctor or a wash or maybe a member of the clergy.
or maybe it smells like clove oil.
My grandfather did marry his first cousin, my grandmother Lucy, loved her to death. They were amazing. They did not procreate. So my family tree doesn't split, but it did before that. Let it be, let it be. We are getting drenched. We are all better for our differences. Couldn't agree with you more. And you're right, everybody's way too sensitive. I refuse to answer questions all the time. And I would especially, especially ones about religion and shit, which, especially during COVID, became a big thing. And even people who submitted genuine, heartfelt religious exemptions were denied their religious exemptions. And I'm really hoping that they're suing the fuck out of those organizations. We love you guys. We love you, Tracy. We love you, Ann. We love everybody who watches. Thank you so much. Mwah, good night.